came to my show, hung out afterwards, went to a bar. You want to know what we talked about? All we talked about the whole time was the existential threat we agreed Trump posed to the American people.
That's so wild. Oh man, they're opportunists. They're opportunists. Yeah, Sarah Huckabee Sanders spoke.
I have always been proud to stand with President Trump, but never have I been more proud than to stand with him right now, tonight. Not even an assassin's bullet could stop him. God Almighty intervened because America is one nation under God, and he is certainly not finished with President Trump.
It's so fucked up they're going with this narrative and really pushing it hard. Every single Republican right now, because like a dude died saving his kids. A dude was literally murdered jumping in front of his children to spare them the bullet that killed him. Like honestly, one of the most heroic things you could possibly do. It's a split-second decision. Absolute tragedy. Horrifying. And apparently that was God. God was like, yes, I now have to pass my divine judgment and kill a couple Trump supporters. Yes, that's my choice, God. And yep, I will spare Trump, but I will kill a couple of his supporters. Injure a few more. The wife still hasn't gotten a phone call? Actually? That is so profoundly fucked. That is so emblematic of the RNC and Republicans in general. Just like they don't even care about their own supporters.
When I was President Trump's White House press secretary.
That's so fucked. That's something that, again, the liberals should be talking about.
That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for one race. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, and he's doing great. They're all doing good.
That was the next potential vice president of the United States, JD Vance. As I'm sure you've heard, Trump has finally announced a running mate at the Republican National Convention, and it's that guy. And Trump waited for...
Oh, by the way, if people are like, but he called him America's Hitler. Why would Trump pick him? Well, a couple of reasons. One, obviously, the VC money, the venture capitalist money, and the tech money that comes with JD Vance. Personally, very, very good for Trump's coffers and the whole Trump campaign. And considering how Trump has been demonstrating that he really utilizes politics as a way of enriching himself, money talks. And so that's one of the big reasons right there. Two, you can pull in kind of like a lot of the other kind of neo-reactionary slash like you know, far right Christian fascist you know, demographics and the Christian evangelicals as well, alongside someone who's like just very, very firmly I want to control and police women's bodies in all ways, shapes and forms, and I want to make sure that they are not capable of having any autonomy. Yes, that you're gonna corner that, but that also makes them extremely vulnerable at the same time. In like, there's a lot of things you can exploit for this dude being an absolute and complete like depraved weirdo. His desire to want to ban porn in America, that's not popular. Even if people are saying they're for something like that, they're lying to you. They are jerking off while they're saying it, okay? Porn is exceptionally popular in America. It fucking drives the internet, okay? People don't want their pornos fundamentally removed from them. They want to be able to do it in secret and not have anyone know about what their search history is, and then shortly afterwards condemn it the next day. They go into church on the Sunday and be like, yes, porn bad, definitely bad, and yes, please don't look in that one folder. Yeah, but porn bad for sure.
As long as he possibly could to announce a running mate, and we're starting to see why now. Republicans are split on his decision. In fact, they were split on it before the announcement was ever even made, when it was just a suggestion floating around that the VP could be the Ohio senator.
I'm talking, of course, about JD Vance, who is now Trump's VP pick. You know, JD made headlines because he said Democrats were to blame for Trump's shooting because they compared Trump to Hitler. He also made headlines in 2016 for himself comparing Trump to Hitler. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but turns out Trump's VP pick is a Machiavellian sycophant with less integrity than a Boeing 737.
Oh, I want to add, sorry, the second part. I just did a Joe Biden there. I was like, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to start and I'm going to give you number one. And then anyway, the other thing is the bending of the knee. That's what this is all a story of. That you can say and talk shit about Trump. You can call him America's Hitler. But if you then bend the knee, if you're willing to kiss the ring, to lick the boot, whatever metaphor you want to put in there, okay? That's the true sign of loyalty. Then all your transgressions will be forgiven. He'll be a benevolent God, a benevolent Pope, and he'll look after those who show loyalty. That's always been his thing. And it's funny because that's what he demands and shows none of it to anyone. He will throw so many people under the bus the first second that is like politically viable for him to do so. So Trump, famously disloyal. Doesn't even sometimes pay people who'd like do shit for his rallies. Like, weren't the weird, creepy like dance team for the Trump rally or whatever that came out in like 2016? They were complaining that like they never got paid for their appearance at one of the opening rallies. It's just one of those things where like, yeah, he doesn't pay his lawyers either. That too. Like, I don't understand how a man who fucks with the bag so much expects everyone around him to be loyalty, but it's because I think he just gets it without any effort, essentially. And that's what it comes down to. Thomas Jerome Newton, thank you so much. People have to go make kayfabe believable. Yeah, that as well.
That's right, Billy. That's not the only way in which JD betrayed MAGA back in 2016. He also brought his wife to my comedy show and hung out at, I saw you loving all that woke shit, JD. You know you was into it. That's actually true, y'all. 2016, Trump rose. I went viral. JD's book came out. Me and JD started getting called on the cable news to explain Jim Bob's to bow ties, and we got to know each other a little bit. He came to my show, hung out afterwards, went to a bar. You want to know what we talked about? All we talked about the whole time was the existential threat we agreed Trump posed to the American people.
That's so wild. Oh man, they're opportunists. They're opportunists. Like that's exactly what this all is. You can have someone who literally hangs out with woke comedians and is like, yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing about JD Vance that's also really strange, is that he was originally embraced by liberals. The liberals loved him. Hillbilly Elegy, I mean, again, it tells the story that they all want to believe in, right? The American dream in action. You can come from abject poverty. You can come from terrible conditions. You can come from families that have addiction, that do drugs, that smoke crack, and you can rise to the ranks to become the potential vice president of the United States. That's like, oh yeah, that resonates, that's the story. That's like, they love doing that over and over and over again. And then it's like, you basically at this point now we're ushering in and softening the image of this disgusting monster right before he was poised to be embraced by the RNC.
According to a Republican strategist, Republican donors were primarily backing North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and Florida Senator Marco Rubio. They felt that Vance, in comparison to the other two, did not have as strong of a resume, apart from making frequent appearances on Fox News and writing a book that Netflix later turned into a movie. Good for him.
Hey, JD, I got your book.
Okay.
And I just had one question for you.
Can I finish my remarks first?
Yeah, I just want to know if I could get a refund. I didn't like the book very much. It's $16.99.
You're gonna go.
$21 in Canada. $16.99 plus tax?
No, you can't.
Do either of you guys have cash on you?
No.
Just $16.99 plus tax.
You're gonna need to go.
It just wasn't that good.
But in some ways, it makes sense that Trump would find him appealing. Trump is also inexperienced in governing, or at least he was when he first became president, and he...
Thomas, thank you for the other donation. But woe if you become a communist or union organizer? Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things, right? Christo Evalis, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He's got a really popular YouTube channel that basically just covers Trump shit. He put out a statement that was like, I grew up in poverty in a literal trailer park, and that I didn't turn into a fascist, like just because someone comes from poverty doesn't mean that like, they're going to become far right.
But speaking of popularity, Michigan is a swing state, and Trump needs to win Michigan if he wants to win the presidency. Michigan and Ohio notoriously do not like each other, so it's an interesting choice that he would choose choose someone from Ohio as his running mate. I have never been to either Ohio or Michigan apart from a layover in Detroit, and I know that they don't like each other. JD Vance isn't helping to endear the Michigan base to the Trump ticket. Not only that, but Trump has recently made efforts to distance himself from Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation, even though he had previously said that they would be writing the Republican platform that he would adopt and implement as president, even though they're one of the major sponsors of the 2024 Republican National Convention, even as he told Harris Faulkner on Fox News that he's looking to appoint one of the Project 2025 authors as the head of immigration policy should he be elected to a second term in the White House.
She was given the responsibility of the border. I have Tom Homan lined up. We have the greatest.
Hey, thank you, Mr.
At the
Oakby.
Serfs, I just realized that all that boot border alignment still show licking that Tim Scott and Byron Donalds did was for absolutely nothing. Gotta love maligning black people for head pats and you get nothing out of it.
I am also very happy that you fixed the robot. The robot stopped speaking. I don't know why. I haven't been able to explain it. I've reset it so many times, and when people make donations, I know they want to hear it said out loud, both to embarrass me and also just because it's part of the, you know, pay to have your word there. No, the robot went silent, but the robot has their voice back, so that's really good.
People.
And then Trump went and chose a running mate who spoke at the Heritage Foundation's Leadership Summit in 2023, specifically thanking them for their contributions to conservative policy.
Heritage does such an incredible job, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
Not that that will shake up any of the most ardent Trump supporters. Either they support Project 2025 or they don't think it's a big deal that despite what Trump says, an estimated 240 people were found to have strong ties to both Project 2025 and Trump in some capacity, covering, according to CNN, nearly every aspect of his time in politics and the White House, from day-to-day foot soldiers in Washington to the highest levels of government. But the biggest kicker of all, with JD Vance being Trump's VP pick, isn't the fact that he has a beard, even though we all know that Trump hates beards. It's the fact that Vance once self-identified as a never-Trumper. He's also 100% pro-life, stating on his website that he believes that abortion has turned our society into a place where we see children as an inconvenience to be thrown away rather than a blessing to be nurtured, eliminating
It's just like, again, it's so utterly absurd to hear that coming from Republicans who want to do nothing to help working families, single parents, all that kind of shit.
Abortion is first and foremost about protecting the unborn, but it's also about making our society more pro-child and pro-family. The historic Dobbs decision puts this new era of society into motion, one that prioritizes...
Like, the second you suggest, hey, well, then do you want to put forward policies that help, say, single mothers? It's like, oh, no, those are welfare queens. And it's like, wait, what? I thought you cared about, like, helping kids. It's like, no, not once they're born. No. I believe in pre-children, pre-cog. I want to know about, you know, the potential for children, the potential for life. That's what's sacred. But please don't police sperm.
Hey, if you'd like to unlock secret bonus episodes as well as uncensored content, go to patreon.com/The Serfs. This show is produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Puppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Travis McClinton, Trincell, Words Greenwood, with additional support coming from all of these amazing human beings right here.